Here is your January, February 2025 real estate market update. And you're gonna wanna stick around because I'm gonna go over all the stats, all the numbers, everything you would wanna know. And plus I'm gonna just go over what I'm actually seeing here on the ground, helping buyers and sellers every day in coastal Maryland and Delaware. And I've got a little bit of updates on the rental restrictions in Ocean City. And furthermore, I'm gonna show you some graphs just to kind of show you what the activity is like in the market. So stick around. What's going on, everybody? This is Rich, your local coastal Maryland and Delaware realtor. I get people that reach out all the time and love it. You know what to do. If you need help, my contact information is going to be down below in the description. Don't be shy. Reach out. Would love to help. Of course, answer any questions that you have. Whether you're ready to do something in a week or 6 months from now, it's never too early. So let's hop into the video. All right, so we hopped into the computer here. I always like to go over the interest rate first. We're going to check that out. I'm on the Freddie Mac website here, and this is January, February. I'm recording this in March, actually the last day of March, so you can get a little sneak peek here. But let's check this out. So it's currently saying 6.65%. So the interest rate has come down. That's a 30-year fix there. And let's look at January coming into the new year, 2025. Looks like it was at 6.91%, and it was inching up. Then right around February here, it starts to go down a bit. We're hitting 6.87, and right towards the end there, 6.76. Of course, you're getting a little preview there. You see 6.65%. So has been benefiting buyers, coming down. Just keep in mind too, if you're looking at a second home or investment property, you can kind of count on that being about 1% higher for that type of purchase that you would have. And let's just see what they say. They say the 30-year fixed rate mortgage ticked down by 2 basis points this week. Recent mortgage rate stability continues to benefit potential buyers this spring, as reflected in the uptick in purchase applications. So that always happens, when the interest rates coming down, you're going to get an increase in mortgage applications. And activity has been pretty steady this year, which I'm going to show you some of the buyer activity, and it's building up, which it usually does in the regular cycle. January, February, March, it starts to really build up for the spring market, then into the summer, which it does start to pull back in the summertime. So that's the interest rate there. Let me hop into the MLS here to kind of just show you some buyer activity and demand. And of course, I'm going to talk a little about some real life buyer situations and seller that I've had in the past couple months, just kind of share with you to give you a feel of the market. But let's look in here. We'll start on the Maryland side here, Ocean City. It doesn't matter what listing, but down here, I'll kind of show you in that particular market, the home index demand. So this is buyer activity. You can see here, January, which it always has this inflection point here. You can see compared to last year, pretty much looks like the same there. So it starts to shoot straight up. Activity really starts to build up here in January, February, and March. Always say, this is a good time, if you're thinking of selling, to go on the market so you can kind of get ahead of that wave and, put it out there, help you get your home sold sooner than later. Same thing with buyers too. There's not as many buyers out in this time, where it's still ramping up. So it's still a good time to get out there, as long as you can find something that works for you. That's the main thing. I'm going to give you an example of a couple buyer clients and a seller client on here too. But that's showing you. So in Ocean City, the demand is moderate. Of course, this is snapshotting in March. So it's above steady, pretty moderate. And most spots in the area, like Ocean Pines, should be about the same. Maybe it'll read more steady, which let's take a look at Ocean Pines real quick. A little different market in the Ocean Pines. It's usually still pretty steady in the Pines. A lot of second homeowners doing vacation rentals. A lot of people that live there primarily as well. Yeah, they're more on the steady mark. So a little bit below the moderate compared to like Ocean City, but still moving along. The graph looks a little bit different there. Over on the Delaware side, you just check somewhere like Bethany Beach. They're showing a little bit on the slower side. Bethany Beach could be a little less volume. Price points a little on the higher side compared to like Ocean City. Let's check out Ocean View, which is just a little west see what they got going on there. And they're at a moderate, so they're pretty steady. So it makes sense. You got a little different price points over that way. They're rolling, they're moving along. Check out Lewis, just had a listing coming up there, actually going live this week, and they're at moderate. You know, Lewis has been pretty steady, even compared to on the off season in certain areas. Just a lot of new construction. Same thing, you know, Bethany to the west and Fenwick to the west a little bit, and moving all the way up to Lewis. You know, there's new construction, a lot of new builds coming up that way, which definitely makes sense. But that kind of shows you actual data, some charts of buyer activity, what's going on in the area. So everything's still moving along. So that was the buyer demand there that we went over, showing you activity. Let's look at the actual numbers in the MLS here. Let's start out with the Maryland side. Worcester County, and since I'm doing 2 months together, January and February 2025, I actually got the bright charts up here. So you're going to see days on the market here for January is 57, February 63. So that's been about the same as it has been for a while, around the same time there. The thing that's a little different here is your months of inventory. So January, you're still on the lower side at 3.9 months, let's say 4. But here, February, we crept up to 5.6 months. So that's almost so much like a balanced market between buyers and sellers, which kind of noticed that a little bit more choices for buyers, which is good. Some sellers are a little bit more negotiable, not all, but been helping a few people get a little bit more deals out there and getting some nice spots too. So that's a good thing here. You can see sold medium was $410,000 in February and $446 in January. And I like to look down here too real quick. So last year, of course, I'm recording this in March. Current inventory was about 648 in March of last year. And right now, 2025, it's 851. So definitely getting more inventory, which is okay. So Sussex County, let's take a look at this. Average days on the market, January 61, February 69. That's pretty similar to what it has been. Months of inventory, 3.5 months in January, then 5.7, 6 months worth in February, about like what Maryland is showing too. So again, a little bit more up there, depending on the price point. They've been moving right around those days of market. Some a little bit longer. Same thing on the Maryland, just depending on how it's priced. Higher price range, usually above that average. May take a little bit longer on there. Those are your actual numbers there from the Bright. I hopped in here over on my website here. I just wanted to give a couple of examples and talk about some scenarios that have been helping buyers and sellers. And this kind of ties in with those numbers that we were looking at. So in January, I helped a seller client on 76th Street over here in Ocean City sell his condo. This was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in a direct oceanfront building, mid-rise concrete building. So usually popular types of buildings that go pretty quickly. And you can see we'll sift through some of these pictures here. So it wasn't fully updated, but it was showed well, very nice. Had like the luxury vinyl plank flooring. Of course, the ocean view is the main thing that sells it, but pretty large bedrooms for a condo. And primary room had that large window that you could see the ocean right there. So went on the market. We did a come in soon status, so I could pre-market a little bit. Went live on a Friday, had an open house planned for it on that Saturday, but had quite a few showings for that Friday, and we received the offer in the first day that was officially on the market. Full price, cash offer. Had to work through some inspection items with a small credit, but that one went pretty quick. And usually your waterfront, direct oceanfront ones can go pretty quickly. Kind of give you an example there. That was January. It was usually a little slower, but it was just the right time, connected with the right buyers. We got that one sold there. Let me give another quick example here. This is one in Shaw, Maryland. This one took about a little bit over a month and a half to get this one under contract. This was a little bit more geared to maybe somebody that's maybe was renting that wanted to purchase their first home, and that's actually the couple that we found that worked with this one. Older home, it's estate sale, working through a lot of inspection things on this home, built in the 1960s, late 50s. So you can imagine it's had some work done to it, but inside is all original. They have some nice hardwood floors underneath this original carpet, lots of wood paneling. So paint would definitely do wonders with this one. I think it has a lot of potential, but we did get this one under contract a little below average days on the market. And this was back in late February, early March, I believe was this one here. So that was rolling here. So last one here, which I don't know if I have an actual picture on here, but I helped a set of buyers. They started looking in January. Tried a couple condos in Ocean City. They're looking for investment property, use it themselves, maybe for a week or two, then rent it out for the rest, maybe turn some profit on there. And put an offer on one, couldn't come to agreement with the pricing. Found another better one right there in Midtown. Ended up getting that one, I think, about $15,000 below the appraisal price, which was good. So buyers were very happy with that. Took a little back and forth, very happy with that. I think that one was on the market for about 2.5 months, a little above average. So in that current situation there, we did some different things, got the seller to cover, I believe, like 2.5% of their closing costs, and as like a seller credit. Again, which is, buyers are very happy with that, and that's very hard. The past market we were in, that was very hard to do, to get any kind of seller credit, towards closing costs, but we made it happen. I think that seller was a little bit more willing to negotiate, not really give everything away, but they're willing to look at it and create a win-win, so we made that happen. So that kind of gives you some examples on some listings and sellers, what I've seen in the past few months here, kind of give you a good feel of the market. Other thing, I'm going to make a full video on Ocean City, Maryland's rental restrictions. I did one about 3 months back. It's on my channel that you can watch here, but they kept on changing the rules on this. Basically what it is, and there's a lot of misinformation on it too. A lot of previous clients reached out, were kind of nervous that their condo or townhome or even their single family home, that they wouldn't be able to rent it in the future, which isn't true. Basically the rules that they passed, Ocean City, you can see on here, this is only in the R1 low density single family home districts, and mobile home too. Mobile homes are in this with us too. They require at least a 5-night minimum for short-term rental, and it shows coming up in 2027 they are aiming to implement a 31-night minimum stay, which you and I know that pretty much is booting out vacation rentals or short-term rentals in these sections of Ocean City. So I'm gonna make a full video on this, but it looks like this is in 2027 when they're gonna pass that 31-day night minimum stay. And there's been a lot of talks and a lot of current owners upset. Really, I guess the issue is taking away property rights. The other side of this, Town Ocean City, maybe some that live there full time are looking at kind of trying to keep noise levels down, have it less transient, in those areas, because I guess some have maybe had some issues. But overall, Ocean City is a resort town, so it's hard to, number one, take somebody's property rights away. Number two, when you're moving or living in an area that is a resort town, you got to expect that there's going to be people vacationing, millions of people coming in and out of Ocean City every year. I can see some things on both sides, but again, I'm all for property rights and having people being able to do what they want to do with the property within reason. So there you have it. That's all the stats, graphs, and hopefully those actual examples of the sellers and buyers that I've been helping. I hope that's helped. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Love to hear what your thoughts are. And if it has helped you out, make sure that you click that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the content that I come out with every week. And until next time, I'll see you soon.